I mean, if you'd laid out the Dutch election, the French election and the UK election in order of risks, you would have put the UK as the minor risk, but when it comes to shocks, it could be possible that the UK throws up the bigger shock because the Dutch elections and the French elections didn't achieve that. What does it tell us, Alan, about pricing in geopolitical risk right now?
We think that the macro is definitely outweighing the micro right now. And as you noted, the Dutch election, the French election were top of mind. And I think markets were very concerned, as we saw going into the evenings before and then during the day as we're watching the results of those elections. I don't think that anyone had expected quite the turn we've seen of late, obviously, but it's our view more broadly, as you noted earlier in the program, volatility should start to be picking up, and we think as the market digests these macro geopolitical events, it's going to put some stress on markets.
So from an investment perspective, Alan, how do you assess the Eurozone? How are you putting your money to work in the region?
We're actually getting more positive on the Eurozone, and we have been for about the past 6 to 9 months. Valuations look better than they do in the United States, and we think, despite some of the geopolitical concerns, that much of what's going on fundamentally in the Eurozone as it relates to business is actually improving. So our hope is that if we can get through some of these elections and eliminate some of the macro or headline risk, the markets can get back to focusing on corporate earnings, what the ECB is going to do, and really appreciating a lot of the positives that are going on in the Eurozone.
Regions is based in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes.
The purest of Trump country in a lot of ways. You are in 17 states. However, let's have a listen to what Larry Summers had to say on Bloomberg TV this morning, because we're about to get an infrastructure plan from the president. It's going to start with air traffic control. And I want to ask you afterwards what you think of it. Let's have a listen.
We spend our time on budgets that don't add up, and on scandals, and on tweets. America's problems are solvable. They can be solved, but you have to focus on them and not focus on issues of personality.
Do you reject everything Larry Summers says?
No, our belief is that as we start to see some execution on the ideas that brought the administration into power, that we'll start to see some benefit in the markets. And what we've seen is it's really, to borrow from Sir Winston Churchill, it's the end of the beginning. So the markets have said, we believe these certain things will occur, whether it be infrastructure or healthcare, regulation or taxes coming down. In each of those cases, we need a win and something that you can actually execute on, and that will then progress in terms of from a market dynamic.